Hey everyone, I'm Philip Curry, and today we are making depending on where you are in the world, you might call it something different, but it is a chocolate molten centre cake, or a chocolate lava cake, or a chocolate moelleux, or a fondant, whatever you want to call it. This is a little pudding that has a soft, oozy centre. Best served with whipped cream or ice cream. It's simple, it's a guaranteed soft centre. Let's make it. Now, to prepare our chocolate ganache centre, we're just putting milk into a small saucepan, followed by our cornstarch. And we just want to give this a whisk to make sure that the cornstarch is fully dissolved, there are no lumps. So I'm also putting my chocolate into a jug, and then over medium-high heat, I'm just going to bring this to a simmer. So I'm just going to keep stirring it so it doesn't catch on the bottom. That's what happens when you add cornstarch to a mixture. And that cornstarch is just going to give it a tiny bit of body and a really nice texture. And as soon as it's come to a simmer, we can just switch off the heat, give it a quick stir, and then we're just pouring this over our chocolate. And then I'm using my bar mix, a trusty tool that I've had since I became a chef. So just kind of giving it a little stir and then just blending it. So we want a beautiful, smooth, glossy emulsion. Unfortunately, you do need to blend your mixture to get this nice kind of loose texture. And then we're just pouring it into our mold. Now we'll put these in the freezer until they're frozen solid. Before we prepare our batter, I'm just going to prepare my little pudding tins. You can also use large muffin trays. Essentially, we're just going to take a little bit of coconut oil and rub it just a very small amount across the tin. Doing that for all the way across. Now we can take a teaspoon of cocoa powder and just run that all the way around, and then grab another tin with a nice tap, and then we just have a nice thin coating of cocoa powder, and then just tap out the excess. Just setting the prepared tins aside. I've checked my inserts are frozen, and into a bowl I'm pouring my chocolate and some sugar, and then I'm going to heat this in the microwave or on the stove just to a simmer. 1 minute will do the trick. Now I'm just pouring that milk over our chocolate. It's good practice to just pour half of it, so that you make sure that you melt the chocolate and get a nice thick glossy mixture, and then add the rest, but a bit brazen. And then we are adding our plain flour, the cocoa powder and baking powder, and then just whisking that until everything combines in a nice smooth batter. So eventually everything will become incorporated, and then we can just pick up the pace with our whisking to make sure there are no lumps. Now I like using reusable piping bags, because otherwise you just end up using a lot, and these awesome little clips just for keeping them shut while filling them. I'm just going to fill just want to fill these almost halfway. Then I am going to demold some of these frozen ganache inserts and just gently press it in until it's level with our batter. Just a bit of batter to cover each of our puddings. I don't want too much, but I do want that ganache covered all the way across. And just giving these a light tap and a spin just to level the batter. So now we're going to bake these for 7 minutes. So ready when they have a light crack in the top and the edges feel firm. Now, when we are demolding these, they will still be hot, but let them sit for a couple of minutes. Just put a plate on top and then flip it over and it should slide right out. Just like that. Now the great thing about this recipe is that you can prepare this in advance. So if you are having guests over for dinner, you don't have to worry too much. Now, there's 2 ways you can do this. Leave the finished cake before baking in the fridge and then just bake but add 2 extra minutes. Or fully bake them, demold them, put them in the fridge, then you can just reheat it in the microwave for 20 or 30 seconds. It's the hot and cold of the ice cream, the chocolate cake.